Hey shooters, it's John with Sun and Shadow, and I heard that you are interested in getting started in quantified performance or similar precision gas gun matches, scope carbine, SPR, DMR, whatever you want to call it. We're shooting precision gas guns at distance. And if you are interested in getting started, I am so tickled to hear that because I super love shooting at distance with my gas guns, and I am here to tell you how to get started really easy. You don't need a whole lot of gear. We're going to talk about what you need to go to your first match and then what you need after that. So let's start talking about the rifle. We're going to go ahead and assume that you have a 5.56 rifle. I would recommend that you have a 14.5 or greater barrel so that you can get a little bit more performance and velocity out of that gun. But if you have just a regular 16-inch carbine, a 14.5, even an 18-inch rifle, you're good to go. As far as the rifle goes, that'll do everything that you want it to do. In an SPR DMR competition, a precision gas gun match, quantified performance match, usually we are looking for speed rather than ultimate precision. So we're looking to get in and out of positions very quickly while engaging targets in those positions. The targets are usually a little bit bigger, so you've got that extra little window where you can just start sending rounds rather than just waiting patiently. If you're like at a bolt gun or a PRS match or something like that, you are waiting for the ultimate precision. Well, that's not what a gas gun match is. A gas gun match is you go super fast. That's why 5.56 is one of the most popular rifles for that kind of match. So on your general purpose rifle, let's say, or maybe you've already got a precision gas gun set up and you're looking to start your first match with it, you need to have a magnified optic on there. And I don't mean that you need to have a red dot with a magnifier. I mean you need a magnified optic that has a reticle in it that you can use to measure things. So you've got a mil reticle, you've got an MOA reticle, maybe even a BDC depending on what you like. But either way, you need some kind of measuring stick in that reticle because when we're engaging targets at different distances, you're going to want to be able to do quick holdovers or quickly dial on that optic in order to get your hits at all those different distances. So you need to have an optic that is going to have a reticle in it that's going to help you with your elevation, can also help you with your wind as well. So you need to have an optic that's got that reticle, got that measuring stick that you can make hits at different distances. The next thing you're going to need, obviously, is that this gun is zeroed. I highly recommend for precision gas gun matches that you have a 100-yard zero. Almost everybody who is at a precision gas gun match is going to have a 100-yard zero, and most of the time when you go and you get the opportunity to zero like right before the morning of the match, they're only going to have a zero range set up at 100 yards. So highly recommend that you have a 100-yard zero. It's almost what everybody's using there. So you'll like to kind of go with the flow, I guess, as far as that's concerned. If you do have a different zero, not that big of a deal, but you just need to understand all of your holdovers, and we're going to talk about that in a second here. One other thing that I think you're going to need is magazines, right? A lot of people have 30-round mags. For precision gas gun stuff, I recommend that you have a 20-round mag, at least one or two. The reason I say that is because when you're in the prone position with a 20, it's usually going to be okay with a bipod. If you've got a 30 in here, it's not super easy. And also, it's like some of the stage like props that we shoot off of, stairs, tires, certain props, you might run that 30-round magazine into the prop and it gets a little wonky for you. So I suggest that you have some 20s so that if you're finding yourself that you're running into the prop with your 30s, just change it out and put a 20 in there instead. I would recommend that you bring a couple of 20s with you when you go to your first match, just so you're not fighting the gun as you're getting into different positions. Another thing that I recommend having for your very first match is going to be match grade ammo. I know that you don't want to spend, $1.25 per round or whatever it is for your very first match, but match grade ammo is going to be a little bit tighter at tighter groups, especially at 100 yards when you go to do your zero. Tighter groups mean you're more confident with your shot. They'll also move a lot further. So usually like 77 grain, I'll get like an extra 100 to 150, 200 yards even before it starts to go transonic, which means that when it begins to go transonic, that ends up collapsing the shock wave around the bullet, and that can cause the bullet to go this way and that. Some bullets, it can cause it to go off course, and when that happens, you're not going to be hitting things as much. So if you're out to like 500 or 600 yards, you might be okay with 55 grain. Anything beyond that, I think you're going to want to move into like a 77 grain bullet or something. Either way, you want to have good ammo, and you want to have that ammo chronoed in your gun. So you've got your gun, you've got a magnified optic, it's got a reticle on it, you've got it zeroed. I would highly suggest that you come with that gun also chronoed. What that means is you have stuck a chronograph up on the gun, you know the velocity, the muzzle velocity of your rifle and the particular ammo that you're using, and you've got that gun chronoed so that you can then build a ballistic profile in your phone. Let's say you've got an app-based solver like Hornady Fordoff, Applied Ballistics, something like that, where you can build a ballistic profile in your phone using that chronograph data, and you can understand better what your elevation holds need to be at each particular distance. That's something that's going to be really important in a precision gas gun match, right? So you've got your gun chronoed, you've got a solver, you've got a profile built in that solver, so now you understand all the holds that you're going to need. I think, for the most part, like, that's pretty much all you really need to go to a precision gas gun match. Obviously, like in your reticle, you want to know what all the adjustments are doing inside the optic. You want to know what those hash marks mean. They're highly dependent on which reticle you have. If you're interested in learning more about holding versus dialing or a little more finer detail, we've got a couple of other videos on our YouTube channel that you can check out. But you really need to understand like what's going on in that reticle, what all the measurements mean. But really, like a gun, an optic, ammo, ballistic profile, a good zero, that's really all that you need to get started to go to a precision gas gun match. So let's start talking about the things that would be nice to have, but you don't necessarily need to go to your first one. The very first thing is a bipod. You actually don't really need a bipod that much in precision gas gun matches. If we do shoot it with a bipod, it's only going to be for like 1 or 2 stages. For the most part, I usually just take this thing off because when we're in positional shooting, barricades, tires, that sort of thing, I'm usually going to take the bipod off so it's not in my way. When you're shooting positional, you're up off the ground anyway. There's really not a whole lot of need for a bipod. So I don't recommend that, if you don't have one already, I don't recommend that you go out and buy one for your first match, because maybe you don't know what you like. Maybe you don't know what you need. Maybe it's a better idea for you to go look at other people's stuff, before you end up buying something that ends up not being exactly what you needed. So I would recommend that if you're going to go to a match and you don't already have a bipod already, if there's one stage where you need to use it, just ask somebody else. Just be like, hey man, I don't have a bipod. Can I borrow yours? And I guarantee that they're going to say yeah. So just do it that way. See what you like. See what you don't like. And then after that first match, you can decide, if you want to make a purchase on a bipod, or maybe you need some more time to learn about them. So a bipod would be probably the first thing that I think I would buy after my first match. Also, another thing is going to be a shooting bag. I am a huge fan of this particular bag. It is my best friend. I love this bag to death. But this was not the first bag that I purchased. I purchased probably 3 or 4 other bags before I finally came to this one. So I don't recommend that you just go out and buy a shooting bag, because you might not know what you like. Again, this is one of those things where you go to the match, ask somebody, hey, I don't have a bag. Can I borrow yours? I guarantee they're going to say yeah. I guarantee that some of those people are probably going to pull out like another 4 bags for you to try, just so you can see which one you like. So yeah, man, you don't need to buy a bag before you go to your first match. There's going to be a ton of them there, and people will be more than willing to share theirs with you. So check it out, man. You don't need a bag, but eventually you're going to want one. And this one here, one of my best friends for sure. All right, the next thing that I think that you are going to want to have after your first match will be a laser rangefinder. You don't really need to have a laser rangefinder at your first match, because almost every single match that I go to, all the ranges are given, or somebody else has a laser rangefinder and they'll confirm the ranges for you. Don't go bonkers thinking that you need a laser rangefinder for your very first match. You don't. One thing that we see a lot, tripods. Dude, every single match, they're everywhere now. Like, it seemed like 2 or 3 years ago, nobody was using a tripod, but now everybody has one. You don't need to have a tripod for your very first match. Is it nice to have? Yeah, sure. I love being on glass. I love watching things. I love being able to use it to shoot off of. But do you need it for your first match? No. You know why? Because there's a million other people there with tripods, and they're more than willing to let you borrow theirs. So check out tripods. You don't need to buy one, but it's super nice to have one, for sure. Next, you'll see a lot of people running armbands, or maybe they have like a card or something on the side of their gun. You're going to want something that you can write down stages, but your arm works just fine. You can have just a sheet of paper that you just memorize. You don't need to have an armband for your very first match, but if it ends up being your style, get one after. You don't need it for the first one. Just check out everything that everybody else is using. Let's see. One thing I don't have with me here is a Kestrel. I know a ton of people like to have the weather station. They like to be able to measure the wind speed, put in their the temperature and pressure and all that stuff. Again, this is not something that you need for your very first match. You can buy that later if you think that it's really going to help you. Personally, I don't use a Kestrel that often. I don't use it for my ballistics. Usually I just use a hard data card for my ballistics or my ballistic solver in my phone. You can get the weather off your phone, I don't think that you need to have a Kestrel for your first match. But, eventually down the road, if you want to get one, you think it'll help, awesome, dude, get one. They're super cool. So like I said, there's really not like a whole ton of stuff that you need in order to go to your very first match. You need a gun, you need a magnified optic, it's got to have a reticle in it that you can measure. You need decent ammo, you need to have that ammo chronoed, and you need to have that ballistic profile built so that you understand what your bullet is doing at distance. Beyond that, I really don't think you need any more gear for your very first match. The bipod is awesome. I love it. I love having a bipod. My shooting bag, my best friend, right? Laser rangefinder, my data. I love having all that stuff. But do you really need it for your first match? No, I don't think so. I think you can learn all that stuff at your first match, borrow somebody else's, see what they like, see what their suggestions are, and then see what you like. Try out like 4 different people's bags. Try them out and see which ones you like, and then you can make your purchasing decision from there. So for your very first match, just go shoot. Just go have fun. Bring snacks, bring food, bring water. Besides that, you need a gun and an optic. You really don't need a whole lot more. So I think that's about it as far as what you actually need for your first precision gas gun match. The gun, the optic, the ammo, chrono, and your data. Besides that, I really don't think that you need anything else. If you do have questions on things that you might need for your first precision gas gun match, or maybe you've got questions about bags, laser rangefinders, tripods, bipods, whatever, drop them in the comments, message me directly here on Instagram, on our website, whatever you want to do. Super appreciate you guys watching. I really hope that we see you this year at the next precision gas gun match. I will be shooting a whole bunch here in the Southeast, and I really hope to see you there. So thanks very much, guys, for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.